on how we can that we can use to start our projects. And by the time we get and earn some project, like some of us that we've done some couple of projects, um, the work will be reduced by the time you want to instantiate another project. For example, now if I want to build um, full web API now, I don't code from the scratch. I just take some basic things. I know that some things are basic apart from the business logics. Some things are basic. Authentication is basic. So what I just do is that I'll just use a template, and then I'll just start with that, instantiate the project with that. So I will now make edits and do some adjustments along the way. So if we've involved in several projects, you must have known that there are some things that you don't need to do over time. For example, authentication, JWT, maybe you visit attention registration. The only thing that you just do is just that. Some different apps have different registration um, requirements. Maybe some require username, email, password. Some email and password. So we just make adjustments there. So I just want to show us. I have a boilerplate for for flags. I have a boilerplate for flags. If you use flags here, it's going to be a great one. So all what you just have to do just to don't it's not forking. Just clone it to your machine, change the name to your application, then get for example now this API name means that unlike Django now, if you want to start a project, there's a command that will start on the project that will give you all the files. And if you want to make create applications, that means bits of your project, you start app and it will create it. So but in some instances like Express or like Flask, you need to do it all by yourself because they are micro frameworks, or Fast API, you need to do it all by yourself. I don't know about Ruby, but I believe it should be same with Ruby. Yeah, a framework that has something like that, I think is Laravel PHP. Or does anybody know any framework that has the templates that you can automatically generate the templates? Anybody? Okay, are we here? Can anyone hear me?
Yes, I can hear you.
Yes, can
Yes, we
hear
can
you.
hear you.
All right, thank you. So, um, what I just want us to know is that a project at a time, by the time you finish a project, no matter how little it might be, is a success. Is a success. So, there's one. I have a friend. A friend just shared a project that he made. Is a just a URL shortening website. So he made APIs for it. How many APIs? Just basically maybe like three APIs. So that's just the beautiful thing about backend. You can just that was the reason why he gave us that stacks about creating database schema and also API specification. But I think just few of us did it. So, but it will be a wonderful thing if we do it. So, if we all get used to it, you can just you might not really get idea of project maybe from someone. It might just be from you just think about something. Maybe just think about, okay, let's talk about an app that will um that will take care of tenant landlord issue. How tenant can just, okay, tenant, what are the things that tenant can do. You just list it out. From there you build your database schema from there you build your API specification, the app is ready. So the only thing that you just need to do, if you are familiar with front end, design it and build the front end. But if you are not familiar, then you can get a collaborator that will just build it. Startup, startup has stood. Am I making sense? Hello, everyone.
Sure.
Yes, I'm interested.
All right, thank you. So before we go into what we have today, do you have any question from our last meetings? Do you have any question from our last meetings? Okay. All right.
No.
All right. Okay. All right. No question. So, the boilerplate that I wanted to show you about Flask, I think what we do. Is anybody here using Django? Can you please raise up your hand? Can you please signify you are using Django? Either you've been using it or you are just starting out in using it. Only one hand, right? Okay. All right, Hamza. How was were you able to complete the other task?
Oh, sorry. Can you hear me now?
Yes, sir, we can hear you now.
Okay, I was lagging behind, so I was way behind. So today I was able to do it, but then when I used the postman, I was getting error. But then when I ran the app, I get like the JSON response from the web browser. So that one is working, but then it's left with the rendering. So that's where I'm stuck.
Okay, you got the necessary response from your browser.
Yeah, but then for the rendering, I'm not yet done with the video. So
Okay, what about Postman? Did you use Postman?
yes, I used postman.
And you got the response?
Yeah, I got a response.
Okay, thank you. All right. The reason why, okay, so, but you've not deployed. You've not deployed.
No, not yet. I haven't reached that part of the video.
Have you deployed before? I'm trying to look for this thing.
No.
Okay, it's not hard though. Have you seen? Have you checked out the documentation for deployment on render?
Oh, no, I haven't yet.
Oh yeah. The first thing to do when you're posed with a challenge, okay, when you're posed with a challenge like that, the first thing for us is to check the documentation. Do you understand now? So
Okay.
with documentation and Stack Overflow and ChatGPT, you can do whatever thing that you want to do. Do you understand now? So
Yes.
just go to render, check the documentation. You will see. So will you do it tomorrow or you do it tonight?
At times I'm really going slow because there are a lot of things. This one, ALX, and so
Okay, all right.
yeah, that's why.
Okay. Just try and work on it this weekend.
Okay.
And if you have any challenge, you can drop it in the group. We have a lot of people that use Django. You can drop it in the
Okay.
group so that you can be helped out.
I use Flax too, but then I'm newbie with Django. This is my first time using Django.
Okay. So you use Flask very well.
Yes, because the project that we did, the proposal, I use Flax, not
Okay.
Django.
All right. Django is good. All right. So
It's good, but then you have to like a lot of files that you have to. cater for.
Yeah, that's it. All right. So, what about Express? Who is working on Express? Anybody?
I've built an app with Express.
Oh, you built an app with Express. A a a complete API, right? Sorry, I, is your mic muted or I didn't? Sorry, who talked just now? I can't seem to get. Hello? Can anyone hear me?
Yes, we can hear you, but we
I
can't
can hear
hear
you
you
now.
anymore.
Okay.
I think if you,
All right. Shino, so you were the one I say you built Express, right?
I use Flask. I use Express.
Okay, that's cool. Okay, so you have your boilerplate for Express already.
When I built
no, I
the
don't have.
app with Express, I did not use any boilerplates.
Okay,
I just built, yeah,
okay,
I
okay,
built them on my own.
okay. Okay, you can work towards building a boilerplate. What you just do is just, the normal SRC, all those kind of things. So you just build a boilerplate and put some data in it, so that by the time you get another project and you install the package, you just write the other stuff, controller, middleware, models inside. Did you get that? All right. Um, what about if you are not Flask and I have not called and you are not Django, you are not Express? Please, can you raise up your hand? All right. So just safe to assume that every one of us we are using Flask. Every one of us, every other we are using Flask. So it's cool. It's cool. So um, we can use the boilerplate we've been using before. You can also use this one. I made it. I will also send it to the group. It just because I noticed that some of my projects, a lot of things I repeat them over and over. So I just decided, okay, let me make a boilerplate just to ease myself of the stress. They say software engineers that they are the laziest. They are the laziest. So yeah, I feel that anything I do over and over, I just create a template or create a script just to make it easy like that. Yeah. All right. So please let's go ahead to check out the templates. Let's check it out by one. This is the API name. You can change it to the name of your API. Depends on the app you are building. If it is maybe about booking, about events, about whatever, this is the name of the app, like the overall app. And by the time you come to authentication, this supports JWT authentication. JWT, where access token, refresh token is created. This is and it uses the blueprint system. And so this is the register route. And after the register route, we have the confirm OTP in case you are using OTP for your confirmation. Then we have the send OTP. Then we have password reset OTP. Then we have login route. Then we have logout route, refresh route, checkmate, check reset password. So these are the utilities for the route. And by the time you get the error, this is very essential. This handles all the whole error in your application. This handles all the errors. So it means that you don't need to undo all the error individually. The error has been handled here. So whatever error happens, all this error handlers is going to pick it up. So and you can use it. So this is the models. The models has database where you define the user. The user is already defined. You can just modify it as as you like, or as the user table. This is user database. So this is sample model 1. The sample model, according to the database schema that you've done, this is the first model. So each of the, although we can do it in the same file, but for, as we build as developers, we must build for reusability and scalability. So with this now, it's not clogged and it's readable, usable, and scalable. So if anybody sees this code, know that okay, this one has the details for the model 2. This one has the details for model 1, and this is the base model. So this base model, other models inherit from this base model. This base model has the attributes ID, created at, and updated at, which other models inherit from. So this is insert. Instead of doing db session add, db session commit, insert will take care of it. Then update, then delete, then format. So that is that. So and each of the apps, just like in Django, each of the apps will have their folder where the routes will be declared. But unlike Django, here we declare both the route and also the logic. In Django, you declare the route in URL and the logic in views or serializer, or both of them. And also Express, you declare the route and the logic. You can decide to take the logic to controller. So it depends. So, but the first thing, the most important thing, if you are using Flask, I will recommend you take this template, go through it, run the app, see how it responds. This is the way I learned the Flask framework. So I went through the model, and the template. I understood all what the template does. So, and with that, I was able to build projects with it. If I want to build any project today now, I'll just spin off this template, edit some things. Authentication is done, and authentication is the most important thing in an application. That was the reason why we even discuss authentication very well, and I believe every one of us understands authentication and authorization, no matter the framework you're using. I believe I'm right. Am I right? Is there any question? Is there any question, addition, or clarification? Okay, I believe you all can hear me. Can somebody just talk so I can confirm that you're hearing me?
Yeah, we can hear you.
All right, thank you.
Can hear you.
All right, thank you. So, so this is it. By the time that was the reason why we took our time to understand the basics. If you've not understood it very well, it's very, very important. So once you understand the basics, no matter the project, even seriously, personally, before I was exposed to backend engineering, I cannot really say that this is what backend is about. I know that front end, okay, HTML, CSS, JavaScript. Well, I can't really say what backend is all about. But when I understood the basis of backend, and I took up projects, used templates, took up projects, do one or two projects. So no matter the project that I get, I'm not concerned. Okay, just come. What does the project entail? Can I see the UI design? Work on the database schema. Work on the API specification. Start writing the logic. So, the remaining things you get to know all along. So I'm looking forward to any of us here to just build up a project, maybe in a week or 2 weeks, as your time demands. But even if it's 3 weeks, even if it's a month, no problem. But just work on it, set your heart at it. And even if you built projects before, and work more challenging ones or those ones that you built before, you can add more functionalities. You can refactor them because we talk about time complexity, we talk about space complexity. So your business logic must be must adhere to that. When I was initially working, this particular template it gets better every time. It gets better every time, and even according to my own book now, this template is already is already old because I've updated some things there. So by the time you get on projects like that, there are a lot of things that you learn more and more, and you get to update. This particular send OTP, okay, this is send OTP. These emails, the first set of projects I did with this template, I did not take care of asynchronous sending of email. So it means that during registration, I sent OTP to email. This is the template, HTML template. I discovered that if you hit registration templates, it takes time for the email to drop. It takes time for the email to drop. So and that's okay. What am I going to do? So I now discovered that I now make it asynchronous. So I use trending. So now, if I bank on the register route, it's going to give me a response immediately and process the email in the background. When it processes the email in the background, it's going to send the email. So these are the things that you must also understand. Although some framework they handle that automatically, they handle that naturally. I think I know of I think Express handles that automatically, if I'm right. Asynchronous sending. So, but Python does not, especially Flask or Django. If you talk about fast API, so that's what we say. Okay, we have a asynchronous application. So with this, I was able to send the email address asynchronously. So let's just go through this. Some things that you don't understand, you can just pinpoint. And if you use other programming language, other framework, we have some other people in the group that work on one or two frameworks. You can just pick up the framework, just read through it, and try to replicate what is there. You get better by that. So by the time you've done one, you've done two, and there is a call to do another, you'll be able to do it. So this is a project I'm working on Django. This is an API too. I'm working on Django. So you can just, for example, now like this one, now you can just pick it up. You can just look at it and just go through it, how it's being done, and now you can also replicate it. So fine, there will be a lot of bugs, there will be a lot of errors, there will be a lot of problems. That is why you have ChatGPT. That's why you have people in the community that passed through that challenge before. So all right, I hope I'm making small sense.
You're on point, my brother.
All right, thank you.
Yes.
Okay, thank you. So is there any question? Now we have the template now. Now we have to come up with there's no time limit because I know that we have a lot of schedules. Okay, Mr. Eric, you can go on.
Yeah, it's a bit unrelated, but I think you mentioned it, so it just triggered. Can you, if you don't mind, maybe speak a bit about asynchronous and synchronous type of requests?
Okay. Synchronous request means that. Okay, now let me show you authentication routes. Okay, this is register route. So once you bang on this route, I believe you all understand what I mean by bang on this route. So once we bang on this route, it's going to execute line by line until it gets to the end. So it's going to wait for the response. That it means that here we have data. Can you see my screen?
Yes, we can see your screen.
All right. So here we have data request. Data is equal to request.json. That means we are passing JSON input from this. This is the sample. We are passing JSON input from this. So it means that it's going to get the details from this. So the request is going to be handled sequentially. If there is error here, it will not continue. If there is error here or it delays, if this thing takes 2 seconds, the program, there will not be response. So it will also take 2 seconds for this response to come. So now let me bang on these routes. Foodie. Okay, local. Share it to local foodie. Let me see if this one will go. Okay, there's internal error. Okay, there's internal error here. But what I'm trying to say is that maybe I will instantiate another application. So what I'm trying to say is that the response is going to come sequentially. So it's going to wait for the response to happen. That is synchronous movement.
So it has to wait till it gets a response before it can continue with the rest.
Yes, and you are returning a response at the end of the API. Am I right? You are returning a response. So if it does not get a response, the response will be delayed. So if it takes 10 seconds for the application to finish, it will take 10 seconds for you to get your for you to come out. So do you understand what I'm saying now? So now where asynchronous comes in is that it will not have to wait. There are some functions that it will not have to wait before it returns response. Now this one, it returns this. Can you see this time? What is this time? Can somebody tell me this time?
108 milliseconds.
Yes, 109 milliseconds. Now let me try to edit the email address. It's saying that email already exists. Now it takes 330 milliseconds. 330 milliseconds. So now this 330 milliseconds, it means that it took 330 milliseconds for the application to return. So now, because I've already done this asynchronously, it doesn't have to wait for the email to be sent. Now let's come back to this authentication. So when it starts here, wait for this one, move to this line, wait for this one. There are a lot of functions here. We have is valid and returns it. So is valid email returns it. This is where I send the email. This is where I send the email. This is a function, and the function that I use to send the email is here. Is in emails. All right. So this is it. This is the function. Send email. So normally sending email takes time. Yeah, it's not like when you bang on your email and you send email and it goes. But if you are sending programmatically, it takes longer time. It can take 2 seconds. But for an API, 2 seconds is too much. It's too much. like the recommended time it takes for a response to come back. I think it's supposed to be less than 500 milliseconds. So anything more than that is too much. So now, because we don't need to wait for this response, assuming this send OTP email is synchronous, I will have to wait for the response of this send OTP email before I can continue to line 61. So, but for synchronous, because I've already said this, to work asynchronously, it's going to pass the parameters inside this function and leave it like that. You be going. If you like, succeed. If you like, don't succeed. We'll continue with our journey. So once it send information to this, it will continue to this one, continue to this one, continue to this one. So the response comes faster. So once you click send, it will bring results. Assuming you want to register and you click register and it's rolling. I believe you say that something is wrong with this website. But what about if you click register and you get registration confirmed immediately, or you get invalid email immediately? So that is the difference between synchronous and asynchronous movement of program. I believe you understand like that.
Yes, thank you very much.
All right.
Clear.
All right. So we can also have asynchronous in JavaScript. That's when we talk about promise. Promise, try catch, or then catch error. So that one is asynchronous. That means the it's like promise. You are making promise. You are promising me, right? Okay, let me wait for the response, either good or bad. So I'm not waiting. I'm doing other things. It's just like, okay, she knows. I'll give you mic now. When somebody comes to you and requests something from you, synchronous is you wait. You tell the person to wait. You go inside, you do the transaction, you give it to the person. But when the person comes and say, "Can you help me to send this money?" and you say, "Okay, sent," and the person goes, and you pass it to another trend. We call it trend in Python. And pass it to another trend. Send this money. The person will get a response of send, but will not get the response of the money immediately. The person might get the alert in 2 seconds later. So it means that you have other things doing. You leave that one, you go and do other things. So that's the difference between synchronous and asynchronous. Alright, Shinonso.
Okay, sorry, I wanted to ask, how did you create the server for the send mail? Is it a different server? And secondly, how do you create asynchronous processes in Python? Thank you.
Okay. Alright. Yeah, I'm using SMTP server. This is it. Configuration. This was where I configured it. I'm using Flaxmail. Flaxmail is a package in Flax. Then I created the mail object here. Then I use the parameters of the email here. So I use my Gmail address. So you can create Gmail address to get the password. The password is app password. It's app password.
Okay.
So there's a way you can get the app password. So this was what I used. These are the parameters. So when I use these parameters like this, in the email, I just imported the mail object from the configuration, from the initialization. Then after importing it, for Flax, this is how you can do it. You just send it with app context like this. For Django has another way. For Django, but there's this project I did in Django was very cool. That the function of sending mail is reusable. It's reusable, so I actually enjoyed it. What is this? Okay, this is Django. Okay, this was where I instantiated. Sorry, Charity. Okay, okay, so this is it. This is where I instantiated the email parameters. This is the email parameters for Django. Then when you want to emailer, I created the email backend here. So this is how I created the email trend. I got this from Django core. This one is, most of it is handled by Django. So this is trending. So I just put it here, then like this, like this. So this particular function is reusable. It's reusable. I can use it for multiple things. So I use it.
You sorry, can you receive email for your website?
Receive email.
Like somebody should, like, say for example, if your domain name is what do you call it, samuelogboye.com, can somebody say, okay, I want to send an email to samuelogboye.com instead of samuelogboye@gmail.com? They'll send it to your website, something like let's say if somebody is registered, they can say something at the name of your website.com. Did you do that kind of setup on your website, on your web application?
Yes, you can do it. Like for example, it will have shinoso at shinoso.com, right? Am I right? Yes, you can do it. Google has that package, and some emailing service to add that package, but it's not free. Oh. It's not free. It's paid. Do you understand? All right. So this is the. Can you hear me? This is the function. This is the reusable function.
Yeah, but you have not answered the
Okay. What's the question again? Can I receive it?
The second question is, how do you make a function or a process to become asynchronous in Python? I
That's
mean, Flask or Django.
that's what I've shown you now. See,
Look, how do you make it to be like? Okay, sorry.
I've shown you. See what I did. See what I did here. This is, I use trending dot trend, and I targeted
Oh, okay, I get.
send synchronous email. So this trending, it means that in Python there's something called trend, like um like in C we call it what they call it, ah I forgot it. Like when a program is going, is process ID. When you talk about process, if I perform an action, is a process. I perform another action, is another process. I perform another action, is another process. You understand, right? So you can get the process ID, you can key the process ID. Like I think we got that from C. So here too, in Python, it works trend by trend. So here now, we can make another trend. We can give another trend the work of sending email, and we'll continue on the trend. So it means that we are releasing the work. So I just showed you the exact manifestation or implementation here. So this was how I implemented it in my Django project. This was how I implemented it in my Flask project. This was how I implemented it in Django project.
All right, thank you very much. I appreciate it.
All right. Doreen.
I have a question.
Okay, go ahead.
I'm sorry I got in late. So I've heard we are discussing about asynchronous and synchronous. Just briefly, will you please explain that concept? I'm not getting it clearly. They are synchronous and synchronous. Just a short, brief explanation of that concept, how we are using it.
Okay. Did you buy food today? What did you buy today? Can you tell me anything you bought today?
Yes.
Tell me anything you bought today. Tell me something you bought today.
I went to the supermarket today.
Okay.
I bought some things. And then I also went to the market for vegetables.
Okay, now as you got to the supermarket and you bought the goods. After buying the goods, you came to the teller, right? And you gave the teller
Yeah.
your goods, and the teller calculated your money. At the point that the teller was calculating your money, was the teller calculating other people's money?
No, only mine.
Only yours. So what will
Yeah.
the teller tell other people? Wait or go to the other person, right? Am I right?
Yes, you're
All
right.
right. So good. So that one is synchronous movement. Synchronous movement. So when you came to the teller faces you, completes your order, takes money from you, give you the receipt, give you the goods. Before before the lady or the man goes to another process. Asynchronous is that when you get there and you submit it, they just collect your card, swipe it, you can go. And like having the belief that you have the money in your account. So as they said you can go, you just went, another customer came, attended to it, go. By the time you leave the store, you receive debit alert. Do you understand that? Your account was not debited immediately you submitted your goods. It was just checked and gave you back. They just collected your card, swab it, and it was 2 seconds later that they charged you. So now in this particular case now, the teller will not have to the teller can attend to multiple customer at a time. So same thing as synchronous synchronous movements. So synchronous movement is that by the time we move, we move, we move. If process A is not completed, process B cannot be started. If process B is not completed, process C cannot be started. So on and on until process E, before a response will be given back. Now you will agree with me that if you have to wait for all this process to come out, let's assume that we spend 1 second here, 2 seconds here, 3 seconds here, 4 seconds here, 5 seconds here. It's going to take 5 seconds between when you send the request and you get the request. Let's now assume that this particular process is asynchronous. That means you're not going to spend any second there. So it means that it take 4 seconds. Let's assume that all these processes, they are asynchronous. That means it's going to take you 2 seconds, which is better in performance. Notice that in the creation endpoint here, we have 330 milliseconds. Now let me try to log in. I hope my app is still on. Let me try to log in. So you notice that it took just 294 milliseconds. Now let me try to register with another email again. So I just registered with another email. It took 275 seconds. So the email was not sent immediately. The email was sent. Now I will receive email now. Okay, now I just received the mail now. But if I have to wait till I receive this mail, now we can be talking about maybe 900 milliseconds or 1 second. So asynchronous is when the process is run at the background and we continue with the remaining processes. But while synchronous is task A we complete before task B, we complete before task C, we complete before task D, just as I demonstrated in this register endpoint. Do you understand now? Am I here?
Yes, I understand now. That's
Okay.
okay.
All right. All right. So
That's
you can also
clear.
read more on it.
Thank you.
All right. So thank you. I believe we've done little stuff today, although we were not really able to touch much. So oh, okay. Oh, that's superb. That's superb. That's superb. Mr. Shegun just wrote an illustration too on the chat. So thank you very much today. I believe we all get what we have today. So and I believe we all get a clear demonstration of the tasks that we have at hand. If you've not done the task of
Are you
making,
breaking or it's my network which is bad?
am I breaking?
No, you're
Yeah,
good.
this is
Okay,
network.
okay, all right. So the task that we're given is to. I gave a task earlier, but I think maybe I was not. I didn't. I
I
didn't
can't
declare it.
hear you. Who is hearing him? I'm not hearing you clearly.
Are others hearing me?
I can hear you. I can hear
Maybe
you.
maybe it's your network, Dorian. Yeah. All right. So the task we have at hand, the initial task was that we should pick up a UI design, or maybe a website that you know, just work on the API database schema, pick up a design or website, design the database schema, and after that design the API specification. So and use template build. All right. So I hope you are cool.
Yeah, I'll also send the information to the group so that
Okay.
we do it.
All right. So please, if you have any issue at any point, okay, JP codes, JP codes, we are on to you. The mic is yours.
All right, good evening, everyone.
Good evening.
I'm sorry, I've not been very active on the platform, so like, what's really going on? Is this tutorial, or is it that we are working on something?
Wait, have you gone through the this document?
No, I just checked the group. I just saw that there's meeting. I just decided to connect. It's been a while. I checked the
So
group.
you've not been following us?
I've not been following to
Okay,
be.
okay, okay. What you do now, just
Yeah.
check the group. You will see the link to the Google Docs. Go through the Google
Oh,
Docs. There are videos. The Google Docs is 17 pages. You don't need to read it like a 5 minute course anyway. Just
yeah.
scan through it, but make sure that you watch the videos.
All right.
Make sure that you watch the video. You can just put the video on audio. It might just be the audio that you're listening to, but maybe sometimes you just need to check out what is happening on the video. So please go
Uh,
through it. If you can go through it tonight, I believe you can be brought to speed to where we are.
okay.
Which framework do you use?
You said
Which framework do you use?
okay. I use Django.
Okay, okay. Have you built APIs with it before?
Yeah.
All right. So you can just go through it, then so that you can be up to speed on what we are discussing.
All right. Thank you.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Do we have any other question?
I have a question.
Okay, go ahead.
When you say we use a template, what do you mean by saying use a template? And then also design the API specification. That one shows that according to the task, you mean we design our APIs endpoints.
Yes,
Does it mean we come up with our endpoints for APIs that you need?
yes,
Yeah.
yes.
Then use template. That
That is,
one is what I do.
yeah, okay, assuming, okay, you didn't join us at the beginning of this meeting, right?
I was late.
Okay. Yeah, fine. This one is optional. If you built a project before, then you can just come up with something. You can just check out the project you built before and use it as a starter template of this particular project. And for people that are using Flask, I said I have a starter template that you can use. For people that are using Django, I said I have a starter template. So whatever way that you want to start out, so you can use template to start out your application. And I also emphasize checking out project that has been built before and going through it and see how you can also replicate the same in your next project. Did you get that?
We check projects that have been built before, like we check other people's projects. Then you get inspiration from there.
Yes, exactly.
Okay.
Yeah. So I think that was all. We have 4 minutes left. Can we just spend the next 10 minutes? Let me just chat. I promised us I was going to discuss with us about my first week at my job, but I'm not sure the 4 minutes will be enough. But anyway, we can get to. So it was a wonderful time. Before this time, I've been working on some couple of projects. But there's a kind of feeling that you have when there's a difference between working on um, just projects for play, like when you are just playing with projects, or maybe you know that this project is not will not lead anywhere, but you are just learning with it, and compared to a project that is part of it is life, like is life, users are on it, and you need to build features, you need to make some modifications and push to production that will be used immediately. So there are a lot of things that will be put in place, a lot of standard protocols. Although some of the standard protocols we've been schooled, we've been developed in ALS to put up those standard protocols like commenting, documentation, unit testing, and all kind of stuff. So it's actually a wonderful time, but in fact, there is difference, so because um, you know, when you're working for someone, when you're working for an organization, what they're not just interested in you coding. They're not just interested in you spending 10 hours in coding. What they're interested in, whatever hour you're going to spend, give us something, give us a solution, give us a solution to the problem of our customers, and let's get over this. So even sometimes it's just abstract and just need to think your way through. Like there was a project I was given. The project was hard coded, and like the front end was hard coded. Like they didn't use any other framework. It's just like as if when you're working with Flask, or maybe when you're working with Nest, or maybe when you're working with like Django and you're working with full stack application, you integrated the Ginger template into it. That one is different from when you make the DRF, when you use DRF to build endpoints. So when you integrate the templates into it like that, it means that no other front end can use the service except you refactor the code and you make out API endpoints that other services outside the application can consume. So I have to detangle the project, detangle it, and reverse engineer the logic that was used in the project, use Python to maneuver the way out, embed the business logic into the endpoint, make the endpoint available. Even this time around, I'm not even interfacing the endpoint with the. Oh,
Make another one.
okay, all right. I will send another link right now. I have to be. I was given a system, and the system is Windows. Kai, me that I've been talking to. I've been speaking to Windows user. You better come and use Linux. If you're not using Linux, you're not a developer. I have to use Windows, and the configuration was hectic. Like there are a lot of things that you have to configure manually and do a lot of things. So, well, actually a great time. So, do we have any other question? I think our time is up now, so that we can all go and start our work.
I have a question about when you're writing your CV. In your CV, do you include your link to your portfolio or what? I've always confused. Did you come up with a portfolio for yourself before you started applying for those jobs? And also, did you include your link for your portfolio in the CV, or how did you go about it?
Okay, yeah. Currently, although I'm looking forward to, I want to build my own personal portfolio website. I've even done a little bit of the backend work. I want to a very rich portfolio website, but for now, I don't have any portfolio website. So what I did on my CV was that I wrote out all the skills that I have. Another thing, I also talk about you putting what you don't know in your CV, because it actually haunted me in one of the interviews. I'll talk about that after this. So I just put all the skills, all the things that I've used and I can use. Like for example, framework. I put the framework for Python, framework for JavaScript. The languages, I put C, JavaScript, and JavaScript, Python, and database. I included SQL, MySQL, PostgreSQL, NoSQL like MongoDB, and in DevOps I included Docker, I included um, Puppet, all those kind of things. So now in my work experience, I just included some. I even included the startups that I was working with. Although the startups are not big startups, but actually I'm involved in some projects there. I included the startups, and in projects that I've done, I included the title of the project, the link to the GitHub, and the link to the live project if there is link to the live project. And I now make a brief description, just like a 5 line of what I did in project. Although it was not all the projects anyway, so just little of my best projects that I've done. I even included simple shell. I included simple shell. I included what other things did I include? I included Airbnb projects. What other things? Okay, I also included some project that I did in HNG when I was doing my internship in HNG. I included the project that I partnered with. So if the project is private on GitHub, I'll just put it there, okay, it's private, but these are what I did, these are the technologies I used. So, but I made sure that I included project there. My CV currently is 5 pages. Although I know that that's not how it's supposed to be, but it's 5 pages CV that I'm using currently now. So by the time I build my portfolio website, I'm going to transfer all the projects to it. So I'll just emphasize on the skills, on the things I can do on the CV. Then I will now put a link to the portfolio website. That's my plan. So concerning the one that I said I shoot myself at the leg,
Hmm.
at the leg.
Can you hear me?
Yes.
Please, is this your first job?
What is it?
Like, is this your first job?
Yeah, this is my first.
Your first.
This is my first employed job.
Okay, okay,
Yeah,
fine.
this is my
So
first
what I
job.
want is that it took you like how many months to secure a job in the tech industry? Like, since
Ah,
we
well,
started, like the first time we started programming, then the time we started putting the hard work.
okay. Something is that I will not. Although I will say it, I will answer your question, but we should not use it as yardstick. Maybe there are a lot of people faster than me. There are a lot of people slower than me, and but it's not a yardstick anyway. But I hope you just take it like a challenge and not like to
Yes,
allow
I
imposter
understand.
syndrome.
What
Okay,
of
all right.
you? I
So I started putting in the work from day one, and
all right.
I started with ALS. That was February last year. So I started with ALS February last year. I I I didn't have any experience before that time, like not at all. I've just been hearing about tech. Well, I only believe that the tech is just for the people that are